Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo enede dua wo hia mpanyimfo a wodidi amanweku awodo te se PPP, PNC, CPP, NDP, NDC, NFA, NPP. Wo hia wonum ene wo mo adi anobaba ye ato adwene de afasa yade Covid-19 ehu.
Leaders of the political parties of our country. First of all, let me welcome all of you very warmly to the seat of the presidency of our country, to Jubilee House, and also to express my gratitude, to thank you for responding so very quickly to my invitation for us to have this meeting. I've been meeting various constituencies in the country, but consultations across the nation could not be complete without also meeting and talking with the political leaders of our nation, especially at this critical moment when we are, like all the countries of the world, having to confront this new menace to the survival of our population and its health and welfare. But we are community leaders, we're political leaders, and the threat that abounds in this virus is a threat to our communities, to our society, to our nation. And we should be able collectively to find an input as to the measures that on a social, societal basis that can be taken to arrest the spread and ultimately lead to the defeat of this pandemic.
I'm representing the flag bearer and the entire party of my team, and to thank you for the opportunity and to state that we couldn't agree with you more than the pandemic has no political correlation. And for that matter, as a nation, we need to come together to put our shoulders to the wheel and to see how best all of us will assist the effort the government is putting in place to fight and defeat the pandemic, because we ought to defeat it. We should not allow ourselves to be defeated by this pandemic. And I believe that the Almighty God has blessed us with the necessary resources, human, material, and everything, to be able to work together in these very trying times to ensure that we defeat the pandemic. And that is why the role of the media is also very critical. And in our effort to ensure that we reach out to the majority of our countrymen and women, I'm appealing to Your Excellency to grant amnesty and get these radio stations that have been closed down to use their systems, their frequencies, and activate their latent, frequencies and others which are not being used, to reach out to the people and to reach out to them in various languages, so that we'll be able to reach out to every nook and cranny of this country.
I was a bit surprised about the amnesty for the radio stations. I think that the opportunities, the law is very clear as to how these radio stations, once they have been closed down or whatever it is, they were not closed down by me. That's the first thing. So it's difficult for me to be the one to unlock them. But the procedures are there. I'm surprised that a year or so later, those procedures are not being used to be able to get the radio stations back on track. I don't really think that there's any big secret about them. The law is very clear. You make the application back to the National Communications Authority and go through the various procedures. And you don't have to wait for a president for that to happen. The ideas that have been expressed here are all very useful to us. We will take them very much on board and continue to work with them. But I want once again to thank you for responding to this invitation, and with the encouragement and the solidarity that you have expressed to me, to the government, and to the manner in which we are dealing with this problem. I want to thank you very much.